Thank you for taking this moment to breathe and to listen what can change your life forever. My name is Ragnar Zinikas, and I'm the founder of Starpreneur TV, How to Dominate the Decade talk show, World Women Conference and Awards, the creator of Coral Desk, the coach of the Changemakers, and co-author for the book Dominate Your Decade. My mission is to empower through education. Thank you for joining us. Today, I have the honor to talk with Angie Norris, the stream queen and founder of TVpreneurs Entertainment Network. She's an advanced online marketer focused on helping brands go from presence to profit. Angie specializes in building, launching, and managing TV channels as apps on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and other streaming TV platforms to help individuals and businesses reach millions of people around the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Angie. Angie, tell us who you are. Why are you doing what you're doing? And what is your passion?
Well, as you know, my name is Angie Norris, and I am the stream queen, as she said. And I came on this entrepreneur journey a couple years ago. I was working corporately, 20 years in marketing corporately. But I've always had this voice telling me that I meant for more, that I meant to own my own business, to run my own business, to do things in my passion area and help other people. And it just took me a long time to get to that point to where I felt like I had the courage to step outside corporate America and start my own business. And so that's what got me to this point. But how did I get to be a TV channel development agency? Is because I'm kind of a nerd, as you know, and I worked corporately for technology companies, big ones too. And I knew that all of the trends for game-changing, industry-leading technologies that are coming out, as well as digital channels that big brands and small brands should be leveraging. And I know that streaming TV is the next big thing, but we are still on the brink of just starting that journey. And so I'm trying to educate as many people as I can on the opportunities and how to do it now, because it's getting ready to boom. And the sooner you get in, the faster that you can actually make money and leverage this new opportunity, as well as getting ahead of your competition, obviously. But the greatest part is for me, my passion is helping people. And I think you know firsthand about that, because I just love pouring into the knowledge I have, all of the nerdiness that I have, and helping people do well in their own business. But I think that coaching and mentoring and then being a friend in the business is so important, because it can be hard and lonely, and the journey can be tough at times. There's lots of mindset barriers we have to overcome. And so for me, my passion is helping people, and then add in what I offer as far as the TV, the cutting edge, game-changing industry that streaming TV is, which is in Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, things like that. And I'm able to offer it to a ton of people. It makes me happy. It makes my heart full, because now I get to follow my passion, have my own business, which is a dream of mine, and then also offer a brand new way for people to get their message in front of millions of people.
I have seen that there's a huge confusion by using the term TV. How would you define it today if someone would ask, like, okay, is it eligible? Like, can you really name this as a TV, or like where the fine line is today?
Yeah, so that's a great question, because if you think about the evolution of TV, right? When it first began way back 50 plus, 20, 70 plus years ago, when it was black and white, and that was the big tube TV, right? And then over the years, it became antenna based, where it's like just your local programming. Then cable came into play, and then direct TV, and all these different ways. So we would consider all of that to be what we call traditional TV. So if you can watch TV broadcasting through an antenna, through a satellite, or through cable, that is traditional TV. Now, the birth of streaming TV, which is also called connected TV, was created because if you think about like the three biggest inventions of all time, right? We have the computer, we have the internet, and we have the television. So those three things together created connected TV. And what that means is a lot of people don't know what OTT, over the top, as well as CTV, connected TV. So what that means is over the top means you're going over the top of your satellite and cable connection to watch live programming. Okay, so streaming TV was born. And it's been awesome. So if you think about streaming TV devices, streaming TV, smart TVs, so it's Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, Android TV, Google Chromecast, PlayStations. There's a lot actually in there. NVIDIA Shield, I could name probably 30 that you can actually watch streaming programming through a TV. And so it's pretty neat because it's becoming, well, right now in this pandemic, it has become the number one way to watch TV. People are cutting the cord to cable, they're getting rid of antenna, satellite, all that stuff, and then they're shifting over to these streaming TV devices. But there's another confusion about TV, and that is the difference between TV meaning YouTube, TV meaning having your own show on social media, like IGTV is an example, Instagram TV. So like people are transitioning their brand into having their own TV show, but it's not technically a TV show because it's still streamed only through the internet on devices like your mobile phone, your Facebook profile, your YouTube channel. What we're talking about today is like really the next generation of television. So traditional TV is now streaming TV, right? And so this is taking it to a whole new level. So I commend people who have their own TV show on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, because you're ahead of the curve. And now if you get ahead of even your competition and leverage streaming TV as the next thing, then you're going to be just blowing in front of all the people that are trying to get their message out there because you're leveraging the brand new way to do it. So if that explains it a little bit.
Yes, I think that was the main clarity which I wanted to bring today, because I see that there's a lot of potential. There is a lot of people doing a lot of wonderful work. They have great shows, and yet they could leverage so much more. But as you know, we can even have the opportunity in front of us, but we don't recognize it because we don't have the knowledge about it. So that's why obviously Angie is here with us today. Angie has been my mentor on Starpreneur TV. That Starpreneur TV is actually going to be also streaming TV, not the thing which I'm doing currently here. So you understand the difference. And let's move a little more. You do a lot of things, and I admire you a lot, because I don't know how you keep this all together. You have 3 kids, you have all those things going on. Yesterday I saw you had a book hit Amazon bestseller in over 8 categories. So tell us more about that. What is this?
Yes, I've been lucky to be selected to do a co-authored book, not only once, but actually 4 times. And several of them, actually 3 out of them, or 2 of them, have reached bestseller on Amazon. One is getting ready to be launched, and another one is in the process. So we have these opportunities where you can actually tell a story through a book. And being a published author, I didn't even realize was an opportunity. Just like streaming TV, it was something that I didn't know until I started this journey, and these opportunities started coming to me saying, hey, you have this expertise in television, or you have this expertise in going from corporate to owning your own business. Do you want to share your story? And one of the books was called Overcoming Adversity. And I actually went deep into my pain of my past and how it helped me to follow my dreams. And then this book as of yesterday, it's called Million Dollar Story. And it's all about our aspiration of following our passion driven business dream, right? Like I've always had this inside, like I want to own my own business. I want to follow my passion. And so, but I had to have the courage to do that. And that was difficult, and it hasn't been easy. And there's lots of things that we have to overcome. So my chapter actually talks about 30 plus different mindset barriers that as entrepreneurs we face on a daily basis. And I talk about how I overcome them. Everything from analysis paralysis to the haters on Facebook to, too many courses that we're in, shiny object, there's imposter syndrome. I mean, there's 30 plus things that we have to face all the time. And I didn't even know they existed because I was so comfortable in my corporate job. I didn't have to worry about those things. But as you break out of that shell, get comfortable with the uncomfortable situations of being an entrepreneur, there's just so many things. So my chapter, it's like, I recorded it audio yesterday and it was like 40 minutes. So it's a pretty long chapter and there are 10 authors in it. We were able to hit bestseller in over 8 categories. We're still tallying them up as we go. And it's exciting. It's only been, less than 24 hours since we actually launched our book. And so it's exciting and it's fun. And it's just trying to give people some inspiration to, hey, there's going to be some hurdles, but there's going to be so many more successes and the journey is worth it.
And how do you get people on TV?
So, we talked about streaming TV, and how I do it is that I've learned 10 different ways to build TV channels on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and other streaming TV platforms. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to bring it not to big brands. I can go after corporate, big brands. I wanted to bring it to this influencer space. People like you, people like me who have a message, who have a platform, who have an idea, a product, a service, something to help impact the world. I wanted to bring it to this space. And I'm the only one that I know of that's doing what I'm doing and focused on this target audience, because I've met thousands of people over the last 2 years. And it's been amazing because these are my tribe. Like you and I, we get each other, we just understand this whole process and what goes into it. And I don't have to explain myself to you and why I'm doing what I'm doing. I don't have to feel bad about it. And I love that. I love the feeling of being in a tribe. So my goal is to help people understand that, hey, you don't have to have a huge budget to get on TV. So here's how you can do it. I have several different ways. I've decided to make it easy for people. Hey, if you want your own TV channel, I have a done for you service where I will actually build, launch, and manage your TV channel for you, just like I'm getting ready to do for you with Starpreneurs. I cannot wait. She showed me the trailer yesterday and it was just amazing. So I'm excited to help you with your own custom branded TV channel. It's your information, it's your content, it's your message. Everything is all you, and it's on now TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and potentially others. And so that is one way for people to get on TV through me. The next way is for people who are like me, who are nerds, and they want to learn how to build their own channels. I have a program called TV Profit Maximizer where I teach you my 12 module blueprint, and I give you every step that I do to build channels. You get access to that, and you become certified as a TVpreneur certified developer, because I'm looking for people who can also join my team. And then the next thing is, if you don't want your own TV channel, maybe you don't have enough content or you don't think it's worth your time at this point in your journey, then you just want to be on TV. I have TV Star Challenge that you can actually have your own 3 to 5 episode TV miniseries featured on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV onto one of my TVpreneurs channels. And so you still get the exposure without having your own TV channel. Now, you know firsthand about my TV Star Challenge, right?
Yes, this where my journey to becoming a starpreneur started. So, and I have to say that not only from the content point of view, it was absolutely incredible experience, but nobody, absolutely. I have taken part for numerous challenges, and never ever I have had this experience which is human touch on it. And I was actually afraid to take it because I was like, I'm not like tech savvy, and just thinking about the how will I arrange all that back office, which is not my strength. And she was able to teach me, and the greatest thing about it is that she's there and she's answering, like you're not alone, like thinking like, okay, what should I do now, or what should I do next? So she's so hands-on that I have not experienced anything like that before in my life. um, what would you say, who would be the perfect fit besides that to this TV challenge?
Really, it's focused on any person who has a message. If you are a nonprofit and you just want to get your message out talking about how you help people, or maybe you're a business owner and you have hundreds of different employees you want to showcase. Perhaps you are an instructor and you want to teach dance lessons or calligraphy or jazz music. I mean, it doesn't really matter if you're a business owner, nonprofit, or you're a hobbyist. I believe that every single person has a message. Every single person has a talent, a know-how, a skill, knowledge, something that can help impact the world. And if you realize that just one episode on TV could change someone's life. I mean, I have one person who is talking about loss and how they've lost a loved one, but not just loss of a loved one, it's loss beyond that too, loss of a job, loss. And I think the message is so impactful because it just takes that one person to relate to that and feel empathy and to have compassion. And that person can have hope now. And so that is on more of a deeper level, but on a higher level, there are so many people. I mean, in this challenge, there are over 60 challengers, and just the different variety of messages. You have no idea what point in time people need to hear what you have to say. I mean, you're changing people's lives with your brand. And I mean, just being on this is going to change my life and help me get more exposure to what I'm trying to do. So whether you have a mission, a message, a passion, a hobby, it doesn't matter. I believe anyone. Now, if you are just getting started on your journey, this is the perfect thing because, as you know, I've made the training. There's 30 days, and there's missions for every single day. They're very short, bite-sized. I have a workbook to fill out, and I do it in a way where you can be a complete newbie, and by the end of 30 days, you have your own mini series. And then if you're advanced, you can do the fast track and go skip that entry level stuff and go right to building your own TV miniseries. So I have it for all ranges, but I'm not sure if that even answers the question. But what I guess my point is that it doesn't matter who you are. If you're watching this and you have a message, you should have your own TV miniseries.
And yes, I do confirm that it is as simple and easy and very well structured as she just mentioned, because I have gone through that. So let's talk about you. And you mentioned your journey as an entrepreneur. So I'm pretty sure we are now in times that is, I think, the biggest what would I say? What would be the correct word even to use? I think we all know we haven't been in those situations, but for you, what has been the most rewarding past of your entrepreneurial journey? But like the most rewarding and also the biggest obstacle that you had to overcome?
It's a good question. I think the most rewarding is that it doesn't matter where you're at in your journey. You put a lot of work and heart and time into building something. And even though you're asking your audience what they need, you don't know until it's done truly how impactful it can be. And it wasn't until the end of the challenge, and I use the challenge because it's fresh. We just had our first round. We're getting ready to do our next round. But I didn't know what it was going to be like. And I'm a perfectionist. And I'm also one who actually likes to have everything mapped out before I do anything. And I didn't take that approach because in this entrepreneur journey, we're trained and told to take imperfect action and just go. And so I did that with this challenge. I created the missions on the day that I released the missions for the first round. And that was a big risk for me, but I knew that I'm determined to not let you guys down. And that's why I did it that way. And it was great because I was able to pivot each time you guys had questions. I mean, you were great because you had a ton of questions in the beginning, and I can see the confidence growing in you through the challenge because I was able to shift things and answer questions and jump on calls and be there to make sure that you're not going to stop your challenge, right? I wanted to make sure that you were successful, and you were. And I feel like that those confirmations and getting those video testimonials, thank you so much. And I had like 10 video testimonials, and it melts my heart when I see that people really thought it was a great challenge, because if it can impact that many people in the first round, I can't wait to see how many it impacts over the next few years. And so for me, I think that was my greatest accomplishment, was that I definitely, like, you guys, I didn't know each other before this challenge. How well do we know each other now? Like, very, very well. You know, I can consider you a business bestie and a friend. And it's like, those are the relationships that mean more to me longer term than the ones that are just clients that we don't get to know each other. So I take time to get to know each person for a reason. And I feel that you have to be received that way too. And obviously you're open. And so we are able to connect. And so for me, that's my biggest accomplishment. The obstacles, there were a lot of obstacles that I didn't even know. And that's why the book I wrote for yesterday that came out for Amazon bestseller, I talk about all of these obstacles that I had to, like, there were days where I wanted to give up. I'm not seeing results. This is too hard. Why did I do this? I have regret, remorse, and then you just want to give up. But then, that little voice inside of you says, no, like, you have what it takes. You can get there. Just keep pushing. And I mean, I've worked really hard, and I know, like, you don't have to overwork yourself, but the harder you work in the beginning, the less work you do on the back end. So I'm creating not just, a means to make money. I'm creating an empire of passive income streams to provide my family with financial freedom for the long haul. So I'm doing the diligence on the front end that takes a lot more work, but then on the back end, I don't have to do any more work. So I'm doing this by design. So for me, the obstacles have been that things haven't moved as quickly as I would like. I can have shiny object syndrome, where I have a heart for helping people, and I will take, the priority off of me and place it on somebody else, and expecting nothing in return, I will help them on their project to see them successful, and it takes me away. But I don't regret anything because I know that they're going to be better off, and I'm not worried about it coming back to me, but I do feel like if you have a servant's heart and you provide value and you help people, it's rewarding in itself. So for me, obstacles have been analysis paralysis, where there are days where I don't have the answers. This challenge that I created from scratch. I didn't have a clue. I had courses I could take for challenges. I just started creating, and I based it on you guys. Like, I would ask questions, you guys would tell me, I would create the stuff. And I did that on purpose by design, because I feel like if I'm giving you what you need to be successful, then it's going to be a win-win. And it was. I mean, it was, I can't even tell you how awesome this challenge was. And beyond that, I mean, my clients that are done for you clients, I mean, we're having great success. And it's just this whole space. Sure, TV is my passion and it's what I'm an expert on, but it's really the relationships. So I feel like through it all the obstacles, every relationship I've made has been worth it. And so for me, the obstacles are just learning, failing forward, and they're not anything that's going to make me stop what I'm doing and give up. So.
What do you think what the future will bring for Angie and what the future will bring for the TV entrepreneurs?
So I love this question because, you know, the future's unknown, but my goal, and this is a big goal, is that I want to create a sales revenue over the next 10 years of $10 million. That is my big, like, overarching goal. And the money is not for any reason. I just picked it. It was an easy number. 10 million in 10 years is what I am achieving or trying to aspire to. But within that, how many lives have I impacted? How many people have I put on TV? How much of a relationship do I have with each person? And so for me, the wins are really in the details, but the overall milestone will be to hit that 10 million in 10 years. So that's kind of my bigger goal. And as far as TV, I have listened to my tribe and they wanted more from me. They wanted more time with me. They wanted more access. And so I created, as you know, the Elite program, which is a VIP invite only program where I'm going to be pouring in on a deeper level. These people are going to be my advisors. So when I have ideas, I'm going to use this core group of people. And these are people who have, one, they have a passion for TV. Two, they've been in one of my programs to where they got to know me on a deeper level and know what I'm all about. And three, they want to scale their business to a level beyond where they're at. And I'm hoping that because I'm resourceful and I'm going to be giving all of my secrets to these people. So what I mean by secrets is that I believe that every business has, you know, your core offers, your branding, your outward facing stuff, but behind the scenes, there is so much that goes into running a business. And I want to give my secrets of how I do it, how I build passive income streams, how I built my value ladder, and how you can too, how funnels and technology and chatbots, and I can go on and on and on, have automated all of the processes behind the scenes. So you can set it and forget it and it just runs. How TV is only one piece of the big puzzle of being presence to profit. And so I want to teach people how to be omnipresent across all of the channels. Like an example would be, I am going to be telling and showing them how to stream live at the same time to Roku, Amazon Fire TV, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and their website all at the same time. And so there are things like that. I'm extremely nerdy and resourceful, and I have a lot of tools in my toolkit that no one sees. And so I want to pour into this group because I know that if they had an access to just a simple trick to increase their revenue or increase their profit or increase their engagement, I would love to share that with them. And so for the future of me, continuing on my journey, becoming super profitable so I can help more people. And as far as TV is getting ready to boom. It's getting ready to explode. It is going to be a $94 billion industry over the next year. We're going to be transitioning to beyond shopping with your remote to audio-based programming, meaning that you're going to tell your TV what to do, tell your radio what to do, you're going to tell it to shop and what to buy. And so as we transition to that, that's like, a few years down, but we're creating the TV as a way to embrace that when it shows up. And so that's why I think the future of TV is not going to be going away. It's going to be the future of how we consume information. And even more so, I think computers are they're always going to be important, but it's going to shift. And how can we make the computer into the TV and do programming this way? And there's so much that's like information overload, but it's the stuff that I get excited about because I'm going to learn it and then I'm going to share it. And so that's why I think the future of anybody that's in my tribe for TV is going to get access to all of that knowledge so that you can be cutting edge and be ahead of your competition.
This just made me chill. So it's like, can we skip some years and can we already be there?
Yeah, let's do it.
So thank you everybody who has joined us in Zoom and also in Facebook. If you have any questions for Angie, then this is the best time to write them down here in the chat area in Zoom or also in the Facebook. If you're watching this at the Coral Desk profile, I can't see the questions now because I'm having this stream to my profile. So we will answer those questions afterwards and I will make sure that Angie will see them. So don't worry, none of your questions will be without answer. But until everybody takes the time to ask questions, Angie, what are your 3 recommendations how to dominate the decade?
This decade is one of disruption. It is one where we have more opportunities than we've ever had before. We have an intimacy with social media profiles where you can actually get to know people on a subterranean level that you never were able to before. You can connect with your favorite celebrities. You can find out all about someone just watching their social media profiles or going to their YouTube or watching them on TV. And it is a time to leverage, but people don't know how to leverage it. So my advice, my 3 things is to 1, find your message that will impact others, make it impact driven. So impact over income, but find your message. What is that? How do you want people to remember you by? And then number 2 would be to leverage omnipresence, to leverage omni-channels, meaning that you do need to be across as many channels as you can. And it doesn't have to be simultaneously, but it has to be strategic. So Facebook does not cater to a younger audience. So if you have a younger target audience, you need to go where they are. And if that's Instagram, if it's TikTok, if it's streaming TV, you need to adapt, no matter how old or young you are, to where your audience lives. So that would be a big one. And so, like I said, I'm trying to be omni channel by having simulcasting. So I am going to be creating this whole simulcasting presence for myself where I can actually create one piece of content, but then stream it live across 5, maybe even 10 different channels all at the same time. And so I'm doing that, but that's me because I like to do one and it's easy, right? I don't want to have to like schedule everything, but I will be doing further things, but that's what I'm going to be focused on in the next month. And obviously people like Ragne who are in my inner circle are going to get access to my knowledge on how to do that. And then the final thing is what I call presence to profit. So yes, you have a message, you're on all these channels, but now you got to be profitable. And the reason why we do want to place some focus on profit is because you can't impact more people unless you are profitable. So what that means is how do you take all of these messages on all these channels that you're on and turn a profit? So one way is to turn your, Facebook profiles, your Instagram, your LinkedIn profiles into lead machines. And I can show you how to do that. And then also streaming TV. There's 20 different ways to make money. How do you do that? YouTube. YouTube is a gold mine of free leads. So how do you do that? So those are the things where I feel like there's tons of information out there. If you just Google it, and you can find the answers to how to do those three things. So one, get a message that impacts others, and the sales will follow. Like income will follow if you have something to offer the world. Every person has something. Like I have people who are like, I don't have anything. I'm like, no, you do. What are you good at? What's your superpower? What do you talk most about? What do you spend most of your time on that's outside your family? Are you watching a certain kind of video? Like, are you watching cat videos all the time? Are you watching ninja videos all the time, car videos? I mean, it doesn't matter. What is it that you're spending all of your time on? You have a passion there. So let's take that passion and turn it into an online info product that you can make money and impact others at the same time. Two, being across as many channels as you can. Focus on one at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself. Focus on one at a time, and then conquer the next and conquer the next. And then the third one is the presence to profit, where you can really make money with all the stuff that you're already doing. We just have to tweak a couple things, add in a couple automations, and you will be on your way to making a profit from your presence.
So I have a question here. Who inspires you as entrepreneur?
I have a lot now. When I first began my journey, I honestly felt like a fish out of water because I've worked corporately for 20 years, but there wasn't any person in my life that understood my yearning to own my own business and have this side hustle. I've always had a side hustle outside of corporate, and people looked at me like I was from Mars. Like, why are you so focused on having a side hustle? And I just loved it. I have a passion for it. And so now that the side hustle has become my main thing, I feel like I had to find my tribe. And so who was that? The first person was Russell Brunson. And when I heard his story and came across his profile, and he talked about his own journey, I felt so relatable to that. That sounded like me. And then when I was introduced to his community of funnel hackers, I felt like this true sense of belonging. And then I started meeting people like you and other entrepreneurs who are either starting out, they're secured, or they're scaling. And I feel like I know them on a different level. And so Stephen Larson is another person who I just feel he's doing so many things. I've met both of them, Russell Brunson and Stephen Larson, in person, and they both take the time, and they're relatable, and they talk to you, and they don't act like they're millionaires that they are, So I feel like that is inspiring because they've made it, but yet they still take the time for the people that follow them.
Beautiful. What is your biggest professional hurdle that you successfully overcame?
Ooh, this one is hard because I would say perfectionism, because I like to be perfect in everything I do. So what happens is I want everything to be created before I actually tell the world about it. And so what that has caused me to do is not take action. So I would have something that I've been working on for months, but because it's not done, no one knows about. And so the biggest hurdle for me was overcoming perfectionism. And there's a lot of us out there. I think we worry, right? We worry, we're self-conscious. We worry about what other people think about us. I do all the time. I'm always worried about my family. Like, are they going to think I'm crazy? And am I out there too much? Am my picture out there too much? Am I talking? I mean, I'm terrible, like live on camera, and I'm getting more comfortable. But the perfectionism in me wants me to like go and take a class and learn that before I get on camera. And so I feel like how I've overcame that was to practice. It's all just doing, going, moving forward. And it's better to get the ball down the field even if it's clunky and there's lots of detours, than to not ever start because we're waiting on perfectionism.
This is a great answer. I love it. If you were to do your journey all over again, what would you do differently?
Ooh, this one's a good one. I'm torn. I will say this before I answer the question. I'm torn because I'm excited where I'm at, and I can't imagine any of the relationships that I would have missed out on had I changed course. But I will say that if, as advice, as well as what I can tell myself if I were to go back, is to, if you sign up for something, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a 7-day challenge. It could be $1,000 course, a $30,000 coaching program, or maybe it's a 1-hour strategy session. It doesn't matter what it is. See it to completion, like one at a time. Okay. So like focus on one. Don't allow yourself to get distracted. Finish it, because you will be so thankful that 1, you accomplished it, 2, you got your money's worth, and 3, you learned something and there's a result. After all of these things offer a result, but you've got to do the work. And for me, I tend to get distracted because everything is so cool. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. I have too many things going on at one time. And so what happens is I have 3 courses I'm doing and they're slowly going. But what if I focus on one of them and just saw it to completion? I would be so much better off because I will have completed something that will be going, and then I can focus on the next thing and the next thing. So I guess if I can go back and change it, it would be to do one course at a time. I've learned so much. I love learning, and I'm thankful that I have every single thing that I've purchased or been a part of. But my biggest regret is that I have a few things that I haven't finished, and I'm finishing them slowly. But if I were just focused at the time I was excited about it, I would have been better off. So that'd be my thing I would change.
Absolutely. We have the addiction to this question, so I couldn't agree more. What is the personal and professional milestone you are most proud of?
Okay, that's a good one. So professionally, I'm going to talk about corporate and then on my own. So corporately, I've worked 20 years in big companies. And the last company I worked for was with a merger between Hewlett Packard Enterprise Services and Computer Sciences Corporation, merged into one as DXC Technology. But one of my projects, they flew me to London and I worked on a mobile application, and it was such a great project. I feel like I was honored to be selected because they spent a lot of money to send me there along with a few other people, and I was leading that. I was the person who brought the first mobile application used internally to our company. And the company was 180,000 employee base. I was the first person to be on this first of its kind mobile application for corporate use. And it was just amazing because it was just a blast. And so for me, that was a huge milestone for me, to have that feather in my cap. And then on my own, the biggest milestone for me is my first client. I think the first time someone paid me for my services felt kind of strange, because through the years on the side, I have helped hundreds, I'm talking hundreds of people and brands, asking no money, asking nothing in return. I've helped them for free. And so I had to change my mindset to, hey, you've got to charge for your services going forward because you don't work corporately now. And getting that first payday, and it was like a $5,000 payday in that first time, I was just like doing cartwheels because it just felt like, wow, I actually have something to offer. I had the courage to go after my dream. I've offered it to someone, they bought. And so to me, I think that was my biggest first milestone that has made a big difference for confidence.
And the last question that we have is what is the personal and do you participate with any nonprofit foundation or participate with any community services?
That's a great question. So throughout the last 25 years, I have volunteered my services to over 50 nonprofits. And so the biggest one that I've helped is a friend of mine. He was an ex-coworker. I actually hired him for one of the positions, and he lost his son in a car accident when his son was 19. And so over 7 or 8 years ago, he started a charity golf tournament, and I provided the web design, the logos, the flyers, any kind of graphic assistance, the forms, the payment gateways. I mean, the list goes on. I provided all of that, asking nothing in return except that I be a part of this year after year. And it's been 7+ years. I have a great testimony from him. And I just love it because he is actually using the money towards the school, the private school that his son went to for high school. It goes into that scholarship fund. And I love that. And I mean, that's not the only one I have. There's just too many to count. But I just feel like if there is a way to help people, and your time is valuable, and you carve out time to help other missions and nonprofits, there's a lot out there, and there's not enough people who are helping them without getting paid. And I feel like for me, if I see an opportunity, I usually can't say no.
Well, thank you, Angie, very much for being here with us, sharing your experience, sharing your knowledge, and also the most important that if you didn't get inspired today, there's something wrong with you. So one, you're a great example, as I think mainly even for us women entrepreneurs, the number one thing to overcome is our beliefs, and really believing in ourselves that yes, we can do it. And as you gave so many examples of not being perfect, also believing in yourself that someone actually is going to pay you for your services, and those services will impact and create a difference. So I think those are a lot of, especially women entrepreneurs are in those spaces, and that really holds them back. And one of the very important thing that you also mentioned is the promises that we break to ourselves. Like, don't just start and then stop in the middle of things, whether it's a sport club, whether it's a business, whether it's a relationship, whether it's whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So we're so used to break the promises that we give to ourselves that we don't even recognize when this comes, the moment when we feel stuck and we don't understand why. But that's the reason. So analyze your life today and take your message. Think about your message. What is your message you want to bring out? And obviously, both of us are here to help you. Especially Angie here has a long experience by doing so. So what we want you to do today, if you didn't really wrote down all the nuggets that Angie gave you, go back. Start the video again, write it down. I even wrote down. And then take action on those, because nothing works if you don't put the work. Angie, what would be the last words that you would want to share with everybody that has taken the time to be on the call and watching us? And Tuan, thank you for the greetings. What would you say, or what would be your last message to them?
First of all, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to be here with us to watch this programming, whether it's live or on the replay. But what I want to say is that during times of pandemics or crisis or uncertainty, don't give up hope. The number one thing you can do, not just for you, but for your family and for people who see you on a daily basis, is to stay super positive. See the silver lining. Look at the distance. This is going to be a long, hard road the next few months. And unfortunately, I can't even imagine how much longer it's going to actually be. And it's going to have some headaches along the way. But if you're positive, positivity is contagious, just like negativity is contagious. So do your best not to be negative, not to focus, dwell, play the victim. Think positive thoughts. Think about you're spending time with your family. You're cherishing the moments. You're making memories. You have stories you're going to tell when the world opens up. And so make a dream board of things that you guys will do once you're out of this. But no matter what, stay positive and let it be infectious to others.
That's actually a great idea also to do with kids. Dream board. That's very good idea. So, as you know, you can become the hero of your own life and someone else's life by taking action on everything that you heard today, but also by just clicking the share button. You can become the hero of someone else's life, because you never know who needs to hear and know about everything that we just discussed. So be the hero of your own life and change the lives of so many others. I will see you on Monday. Yes, we are finalizing today the 7th week. I can't even imagine that we have done so much already, but we are growing strong, and I will see you on Monday, the same time, the same place. And thank you for joining us. And Angie, thank you. Thank you for all the services that you do. Thank you for being who you are, and thank you for joining us. So everybody, have a marvelous weekend.
Bye, Jen.